Yeah, Beatmania. The first Beatmania was in '97.
And what year does the Super Mario 64 come out?
Super Mario 64,
Yeah.
1994.
No, 96.
No way,
96?
96.
Yeah. It's been a while. All I remember is it came out around the same time as Knights.
Symphony of the
That's
Night.
No, not Symphony of the Night. Knights for the Saturn.
No, like Symphony of the Night.
No, when?
Oh, you're asking me when that came out?
98?
Yeah, I think no. 97.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't play it then. I didn't have a PlayStation.
We're talking about Japanese version. Durr.
Oh.
They came out in different years, asshole.
I don't know these things.
Nobody should. It's worthless knowledge.
But it's like
I didn't
quiz
have any
knowledge.
access to Sony
I
crap
don't like
until,
those things.
Forever.
It encourages memorizing useless data. You could do better things with your brain.
Like play
I
Solid.
can't.
Sure, that's better.
My brain's not good for anything. It's like, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. No. I don't want to be an engineer.
Being an engineer is a horrible thing. You're taught
You should
to
be a
think.
mad genius. That's the only good type of engineer.
I'm not that bad. I'm relatively angry and disheveled and disgruntled. Lots of other words. But not
Fine, I'll keep
mad.
calling you a pedophile until you do get mad.
Oh!
But yeah, being taught to think like an engineer is a horrible thing. Because you kind of like stop seeing things the same way.
Yeah, because
How
you're
can I
like,
solve
I don't
this
care about
problem?
making this usable. I want to add all this awesome shit to this. Computer engineers are the same way.
How can I fix it? I'm gonna
We're
kick in
like,
the face.
users, who gives a shit?
And like certain things you didn't know about, once you know about them, it's like, wow, this is stupid. You know? It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. Like, believe me, I know from being a programmer. You're like, fuck the interface. This thing only takes up 64K of memory. That's way more interesting. It's a command line interface, but fuck it. It's so small. I love it. And that's what programmers do. That's why users hate us.
Yeah.
That's why designers exist. Because programmers are dicks. We just want to do stuff that's interesting to us instead of what's interesting to the people that actually buy the software.
Assignments, fuck that shit.
Fuck that
That's
shit
random
indeed.
shit.
It's so much more fun that way. I'm never gonna change.
well, you know, like IBM has their AIX operating system.
Yeah.
So they assigned me something, changing something in the kernel. I was like, wow, this is a kernel. This is so sweet. But then I didn't understand anything anyway. And it's,
You should have compiled an MP3 player into the kernel. I'm sure the business users would have been very happy to have that on their servers. It would have been amazingly useless, but you'd be like, you can play Og Vorbis. It's so great. It's an 8K Og Vorbis decoder. It's so awesome. And then you'd get fired.
You get deported, like I said before.
That's okay. If anybody else found out about it, somebody else would hire you for doing something awesome.
Yes.
That's the nice thing about being a programmer. Sometimes you do a dick move
terrible
like...
things.
Yeah, sometimes you do terrible yet awesome things like that, and other people do appreciate them. Other programmers appreciate that
Like
shit.
hacking the PSP so that you can run anything free.
Hell yeah.
The one who got like all the methods to unbreak the PSP and to like emulate anything PSP related.
Yeah.
Like he was like AWOL for a while.
Yeah, Dark Alex.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh, I have a job.
Because people recognize, oh, that guy's incredibly talented.
That guy's amazing.
I mean, Sony hates him, but
Fuck that, whatever.
whatever.
Everyone hates Sony anyway.
It's their fault for ever believing
Yeah,
any
thanks, Sony
console
made me a
be...
shitty camera. And a shitty poop. A pink
Man,
poop.
somebody posted a chart measuring piracy versus hardware sales and pointing out the relative ease. It's like, oh, it's incredibly easy to pirate on the DS because you're just like, oh, buy an R4 and a micro SD card,
Yeah.
you're done. For like $50, you can pirate anything you want.
Well,
And yet, 75 million of them have been sold.
yeah, because you gotta buy the DS.
No, it's not just that though. Like, the software is incredibly popular too.
Oh yeah, too. But like, you know, like it encourages people to buy the DS.
Like, I
when
buy,
they can
I
play
buy
anything
DS
free.
games. I
Yeah,
have an
I
R4.
still buy a lot of DS games.
I have an R4, but it's because, you know, I don't want to get burned buying absolute shit. That's all.
I get burned by an absolute. I have an R4. and I
You
still
have
get
Lucky
burned.
Star. You have Lucky Star PS2. Of course, you're getting burned.
I enjoy getting burned. I see it.
Like,
Wait,
I've-
isn't that Lucky Star game? It's like quiz game. It's like, what is 2 plus 2?
There's
That's the DS one. I have the second DS one.
is that
Yes,
one?
I bought it.
Is that one any better?
It's pretty fun and amusing, like for a quiz game, but I mean,
You should get the Oh My Goddess quiz game.
I should.
It's just a ROM for a name, that's all.
Are you like,
Oh, that's not the DC one?
like, what?
Fuck.
Actually, I think you're right. I think it did end up on DC.
I may have a copy of that somewhere.
Get that shit. We'll play it. We won't know what the hell's going on. We'll just randomly hit A, B, C, or D, because that's how you go through quiz games.
Yeah, and
You and me, $20, Quiz of the Dragons.
Quiz of the Dragons.
That's an actual Capcom game.
Yeah.
It was released on
We're
arcade.
better
It's a quiz
off
game.
playing quiz. The
Not only was it
Campfires
released on
quiz.
arcade, it was released on arcade in English.
English.
English quiz game. Who had thought that was a good idea?
Speaking of arcade
They were
games,
fired.
Speaking of arcade games, I gotta tell Ryan to get the grid. Cause that game is awesome.
All I am when I see him tomorrow. I don't think it's on tomorrow. Ryan, get the grid. I'm like, what the fuck?
I told
No.
him. I told him to.
It takes a fuck ton of space, but who cares? You can play up to 4 people
Yeah,
at
you
once.
could fucking, yeah. And
I thought it was 3.
4.
I think it's 4.
I think it was 4.
Assume you have enough.
The one at Einstein's was 3.
Really?
I think so. I guess it was separate. There's.
Yeah, maybe it was separate or something, but I think it was. You can play up to 4.
It was like a 3-person cabinet where it was one person here, and then here, and then here.
It's like a triangle.
No, it was just like like that.
Oh, okay. No, I saw one that was like whole thing, like
Like 4 just right next to each other.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably
Yeah, that's
another
what I was
version.
thinking.
Yeah, that would take up a lot of space.
Yeah,
You don't have enough space.
that takes up like.
Because everybody gets a different monitor. That's huge.
Yeah, that's fucking.
But that's awesome though.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Even if we made some custom small cabinets.
you could
not
put
gonna work.
4 other games in its place. The grid's not that good. It's
And-
good, but it's not worth 4 other games.
You don't have enough.
I would
space to-
earn Arcadia for a lot of money because I was beast at that game. I would.
No.
Get,
Well, assuming other people would play you in it.
yeah, if other people play me constantly,
We have to see how the casual user base goes. Because even if I spend $20 a day during the summer, we're not going to get anywhere.
You're gonna spend $20 every weekend on Escaluded too,
Yeah.
because that shit's amazingly hard.
But yeah,
Actually,
There
no,
was
it's
a
not.
PS2 version. I couldn't find it.
No, there's a PS2 version of 1. I don't think
I
there's
have
2.
that.
I got the DVD for that shit. It was on Bimani's house. So is the one for Ketsui. I just got that too.
Hate so much.
but yeah, if the grid was
I needed someone to invite me.
I can just show you the DVD.
It's okay. I haven't really played a shooter since like Border Down.
Yeah,
Spent
well,
so much time
the
on that.
Escaluda replay isn't really that interesting. Like, all it teaches you is the patterns for, okay, which enemies do I shoot with the normal shot and which ones do I do the slow shot on to kill their bullets. And it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. And it goes through it with both characters, it's boring. Hopefully the Ketsui DVD is much better. It should be, because the Ketsui DVD is by I&H. Do you know them?
No.
Insanity Naked Hunter.
Oh,
They're
God.
they're a group that does all kinds of DVDs. Like they did one for Street Fighter Super Turbo, but for the most part they do shooting games, and they're amazingly good. Like the Mushihime-sama DVD they did was really good because like over on the side it'd be like, oh, at this point you do this so that you max out the score. Because there's a shot trick that increases the counter really fast. I think it's you tap A and C at the same time rather than holding either one or tapping either one. It's just like that on a boss right after you've dropped their meter to one of the dropped one of their bars, and it'll make your counter jump by like 100 at a time. It's really really quick. Yeah, I'm amazed that people learn all those crazy fucking tricks for maxing out scores in Cave games. Because every time Cave makes a new game, they're like, oh, look at this crazy new scoring system we thought up. Look at this shit. And then people are like, oh, I found out how to get 50 billion points.
There's not enough problems going through the fucking game on hard, whatever.
Yeah.
Scores is I don't know anything about that.
Supposedly nobody's beaten the true final on Mushihime-sama Futari without continuing yet.
What is true
It's-
final?
True final?
Yeah.
True final means the boss you get for no continue clearing the game on the highest difficulty. That's the only way to get it. There was one in Mushihime-sama,
That's gross.
and everybody was like, holy shit, this is the hardest boss ever made. And it was. But they're like, oh, well, we can't
We'll
have
one up
that. Let's
ourselves."
make a harder one.
Yeah.
And they did. Like,
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, go look it up. Just type in hardest boss ever, and you'll find it.
MusicMSL was really fun.
I'm dead serious. Like, there's several copies of the video.
Hardest boss ever.
That's a DX box I should have bought. But now
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I didn't have money.
Because the soundtrack is awesome to that game.
I've always wanted to play Mushihime.
It's really fun, actually.
You can buy magic keys for your PS2.
It also helps you.
Figure it out.
It helps you with, like, you know, like reflexes and Korean. Develop your Korean inside of you.
No, like, the reflexes involved there are very different than from fighting games.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
The nice thing about Mushihime-sama is all the bullets being purple, rather than all different colors. You'd think it makes it horrible, but it actually makes it a lot easier to see yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Whereas in Toho games, it's like, oh god, the whole rainbow's coming to rape me in the ass.
And then you forget
Imperishable Night, like when you fight
Imperishable
Marisa in stage 4, she's like, look at all these multicolored stars, it's so pretty. Oh, you're dead.
It's just like, hate navigating through that shit.
Dude, I love that game. That set of